Live, so let's try and get that going.
The face is not alive.
Our faces are not alive. There they are. There we go. We're all up and running now.
Dead faces.
Dead faces. How are we all doing? Guys, it's been a week since we last played. A lot of stuff happened last week. That was... it was a bit brutal. For the viewers, you may notice a new face here. We talked about him last week. Blame the Robot, aka Josh, is joining us to take over for Dave for a couple of weeks, taking over the one of the roles of Loras, the barbarian, the Goliath barbarian. We've got some interesting things that could happen there that no one else knows about. It's just me and Josh. You excited about this, Josh?
Shifty-eyed. Hey, everybody! Yeah, no, I'm very excited to be here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to do Loras justice. And I hope not to get him killed. And that is my end goal for tonight, not to get my dude killed.
Yeah. Well, you're starting...
Otherwise, this will be a very short guest spot.
Well, if you do get Loras into a dying state, it's not out of the ordinary, to be honest. He's usually in some kind of dying state. So
it's fully in character.
Fully in character. So don't worry too much about that. What we'll do is Josh, you haven't seen the recap. I don't think you've seen the recap.
No, I'd really love to.
No. I want to keep it that way. You'll see. You're not going to hear the recap. We're going to show it to the viewers right now, so they knew what sort of situation Loras got into last week, as well as what happened to a dear friend called Sildar.
Previously on Getting Dicey,
you hear some footsteps coming, and you notice a bugbear make its way around this corridor. Oh, it's on then. I guess it's on.
Whoa. Hold on.
He stops. He almost comically screeches to a halt in front of Sig. Oh, this is awkward. If you're happy for me just to turn around, I'll be on my way.
I'm gonna cast Friends.
Okay. That's... Tell me your problems. I can help you out. I can tell you anywhere that you need to go. The bugbear has started looking around in confusion now. He says, "Oh, you're a cheeky one, aren't you?" And he pulls his Morningstar back out. You guys didn't even notice them, did you? With Mirakin's dark vision, she looks up and she just sees so many Sturges. All of the Sturges just drop to the ground. One by one, they're just going... You have... killed all the Sturges. Sildar's. He's just kind of investigating some of the rubble, picking up some stones, and you notice the skeleton in front of you. Mate, did it move? You guys are surrounded by skelly boys.
So still fuming and raging and going crazy, trying to cleave the sky through the middle.
And you bring that down and slam it next to the skeleton. It hits the rock and just ricochets back up into your face.
The blood drains from my face and I fall backwards.
The one next to Sildar and Sig swipes out once more at Sildar. And he just pushes that blade directly into Sildar's stomach. Sildar drops his sword and grabs the sword that's pushed into his stomach, pulls himself off it, and falls dead to the ground. Oh, Sildar. What did you guys do? Dildar? Cool. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like being called Dildar. I love that he's called Dildar, but I don't think he enjoys it. So, you guys, let's put you back onto the map here. Now, Josh, you're all set up with Roll20 in front of you?
Yes, I am.
Nice. You've probably got a black screen at the moment. If you got to scroll down to the sort of the bottom middle of this map, you'll see the room that we left our adventurers in last time. Just to set the scene quickly, Loras is still prone on his back on the ground, blood pouring from his face thanks to an axe wound, self-inflicted axe wound at that. Sildar has just dropped to the ground in a dying state thanks to one of the last few remaining skeletons, and it definitely looks like things are
getting dicey.
Cool. So, where did we end up last time? The last round were the skeletons round, and they did a lot of damage. They did a lot of damage to a lot of people, except somehow the Baron, who is our wizard, Josh.
I got damaged.
I thought you were up against a skeleton that just kept swiping and missing and swiping and missing.
Well, kind of, but I still took some hits.
Okay, well we'll start at the where are we at the near the bottom of the turn order actually. Baron, it is your turn.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Now we don't have Shannon's video working today, but we do have sound, and of course, anytime he casts a spell, hopefully we've got the animation for it, so all good. You've got, just to set the scene for you, Shannon. You've got a skeleton right face to face with you. He has been swiping and just missing every which way. But he's also, right, as we call it, since he's a skelly boy, as we call him, he is not bloodied, he is marrowed. He is not looking good on his feet.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
Straight out of the bat.
On his face. It's all gone wrong today.
Don't worry, my dice are upstairs. I just realised I don't have them, so this is going to make rolling way cooler.
Hang on. Oh crap, it's my turn now. Okay.
So he has to make a 14...
I'm going to go get them.
A 14 wisdom save.
We can do that. I think I can do that just using roll 20, actually, so that'll be fine for this time. He has failed with a roll of 7.
Ooh. Oh, that's... Okay. So he takes a d12 damage. 7.
Cool. The bell just rings out in the skeleton's head, and just like every other person that has been inflicted, thank you for the dice delivery. Thank you. Hey, can you shut the door? Can you shut the... No? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Just like every victim of Toll the Dead before it, it's just he suddenly stops completely, and the shade of meaty browny green that's holding the bones together just starkens and just drops away bone by bone as the skeleton drops to the ground, dead.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Donged.
He got donged.
That's a horrible term.
It's a great term. I love it.
Okay. That's all from me.
That's all from the Baron. Sig, over to you. You've just run across to try and take out the skeleton that was up against Sildar, and before you had a chance to take him out, he has dropped Sildar to the ground. Sildar is in a dying state next to you.
As he sees his comrade drop to the ground, Sig channels his fury into his hammer and punches it into the skeleton in front of him. Yeah!
Boom, give me a roll to hit.
A 15.
A 15 is enough. What sort of damage are we looking at there?
7 bludgeono damage.
And whereabouts are you aiming that hammer, the end of your hammer?
Into the skeleton's face.
Yeah, you just crunch it against the wall behind it. It doesn't have a chance to react as its head just shatters against the wall behind, and its body drops dead to the ground.
As my movement, Sig will just drop to one knee and cradle Sildar like a very large, ugly baby.
Cradling. You cradle him thus. American, you are still in bear form. You don't have your bear. Have you got your bear? Layer ready to go? There we go. There we go. All right. So Bearican has just laid waste to quite a few of these skeletons. You two have just seen Sildar drop to the ground in front of you. What do you do?
I'm gonna roar.
You're gonna give us a roar? No? Okay, good. That's great.
I'm going to rush forward and use my bonus action to revert back to a very grumpy-looking elf and rush forward to Sildar's side and try to get in on that cradling action.
Okay.
Look at this big ugly baby. He's going to be okay. I'll help you.
Are you going to help him?
Double cradle.
I'm not. I'm cradling. I'm helping him morally, but I can't help him spell-wise.
You could, if you wanted to. There is a way to stabilize him by doing a medicine check. You're welcome to give that a try if you like.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, so
I'll,
give us a medicine check. Now, I believe you have to roll over 15 for this, so it's
Okay.
quite the
I'm gonna
roll.
reach into my pouch and get some delicious herbs and just stuff them into his mouth. I've rolled a 23.
Joe and rolling dice, forget it. Yeah, no problem. You have stabilized Sildar. He's still unconscious and he's still at 0 HP, but he is no longer in a dying state.
I'm gonna grab his mouth and chomp them on the herbs.
Well,
Chomp his teeth on the herbs.
I don't know if that'll do anything this round. It is Sildar's turn. It is Sildar's turn, and he is unfortunately just lying unconsciously in Sig's arms. And uncomfortably, because Sig has a lot
That's
of...
not unfortunate. That's a bit mean to Sig.
I mean, have you seen him? No, it's unfair. That's unfair. It is Loris's turn. Now, this is, I guess, what... I believe Bill was right next to Loras, trying to... I think the last thing Bill did was try and give Loras some HP to try and... or a potion to try and get back some HP. Bill, you notice next to you a little bit of wind pick up around Loras. And you look over and you see some of the bones, because there was more than just the skeletons in regards to the amount of bones in this room. There's the skeletons that got up, but there was still some remaining bones on the ground. And you see... kind of a smoke or a wispy white cloud lift up from one of the remains underneath Loras. And it reaches up around Loras's face and goes inside Loras's nostrils and ears and eyes. It wraps all around Loras's body and lifts him up off the ground into a standing position next to you. The cut on his face has gone. And he has received, Josh, this is for you. You're probably back up at about the 15 HP mark. You've
Okay.
you know,
Loras? That you, pal?
Loktar! Ogre! Loktar! Ogre!
I would like to attack the nearest thing, which I hope is the skeleton that put him down before.
yeah. You put yourself down. But yes, you can attack the skeleton. And with a roll of 16, that is definitely a hit. So you find in one of your hands, Loris's great axe. And you're looking, as you've been brought, as you bring your consciousness to life, you see the skeleton standing menacingly in front of you. It looks unscathed, and you plan to change that. You bring that axe down and cut through its shoulder, knocking one of its arms off and snapping some of its ribs. It is not looking good, but it is still standing. Cool. And you've just been given inspiration as well, by the way, Josh. So you can take
Hang on, does anyone speak Orcish here?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Nope.
it's cool. Never mind.
I hope he knows a little common. Just it could get a bit awkward. All right. With that, Bill, you've just seen something you can't quite explain happen next to you. Loras is back on his feet. He's not looking half as bad as he was. He's speaking a different language, and he's even holding him. His posture is held a little differently to what you're used to.
Is his posture better than what I'm used to? Like shoulders back, just like very proper, or
Josh, do you want to explain?
I would say not so much proper, more feral and visceral in nature. I'm kind of hunched forward, holding both ends of the great axe and wild-eyed, looking around and assessing my surroundings, taking everything in.
okay, so it's like Bone Wolverine versus regular Wolverine. Okay, cool.
And you've also got a skeleton in front of you.
And he's still in rage?
The skeleton?
No, the large barbarian next to me.
Well, I don't believe he's in rage, but he's definitely ferociously attacking what he saw in front of him.
Okay, I'm going to attack this skeleton here with
Okay.
the pommel of my rapier. So I'm trying to punch him because it seems foolhardy to try to stab a skeleton.
Yeah, cool. Give us a roll.
I rolled a 6.
They seem to be just as hard to hit with the pommel of your sword as it is the tip of your rapier. And it just glances off the side of his head, not doing really any damage to him. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm just going to call out, hopefully as my bonus action, to the rest of the party and just say, guys, something's wrong with Loras, more than usual.
I'm glad you clarified that last bit.
And I'll end my turn there.
Okay, great. It's the skeleton's turn. Oh, there's 2 left. There's one in front of Bill. There's one that has just been attacked by Loras. And the one in front of Loras just swings out and rolls a 14. What do we got there?
It's 15 to hit.
Okay, cool. So that's a miss. It's almost repelled by the energy coming off Loras at this point. And then the one in front of Bill also swipes out, rolling a 12.
That is also a miss.
It is just a comical clashing of titans there with Bill and the skeleton missing each other.
I just raised one eyebrow.
But it serves to do nothing more than just enrage the skeleton in front of you. We're back with the Baron.
Oh, okay. I've just heard Bill yell out, and I've heard Loras screaming in a language I haven't heard before. So I'm gonna talk to Bill and say, "What the hell was that? Do you think he's caused himself brain damage with that axe?"
It seems the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
Can I ascertain if there's anything wrong with him mentally?
Again, you see what Bill had seen. Loras holding himself in a more animalistic pose. There's a different energy to him. He doesn't look half as damaged as he did before. You could
also wounds have disappeared.
Yeah, the cut across his face has healed.
Okay. Oh my god. Can I do some kind of magic check, like Arcana or something like that? Is there some kind of spell going on?
I mean, if you want to spend your action doing an Arcana check, there is still a skeleton within reach of you as well. By the way.
Yeah. I mean, does Loras look like he's going to attack us?
He still seems to be focused on the skeleton in front of him.
Okay. Maybe he's just having trouble with some kind of... I'm going to use there's a skeleton about to attack. So I'm definitely gonna do poison spray. So it's a DC 14 con check.
All right.
That guy.
That is a fail.
Oh, okay. So he takes 7 poison damage.
Okay.
But can skeletons be poisoned?
That's a good check. And I just looked. I literally just went. I was looking here, just here.
Oh, yeah.
Then I looked here, from here to here, and the poison spray shoots out over this skeleton, and it just responds with.
You foul beast.
Yeah.
I just
hate when they laugh.
It seems to have no effect.
Yeah. I just look depressed and put both hands in my pockets, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. And with that, we move back to Sig, who seems to have some sort of portal opening up behind him, I think.
Indeed, I feel like the caverns are crashing down around me. Perhaps in the break I shall restore order to this universe. But in the meantime, Sig is very concerned looking at Sildar, and he raises his eyes to Mirakin. Mirakin, can you help this fallen man, or shall I spend one of my health potions upon him?
No, I can help him.
Brilliant. And with that, he drops him to the floor and sprints across the room to the nearest skeleton.
Oi!
Swinging. As he approaches, he impales the back of the skeleton with the handle of the hammer that just apparently caught up with my microphone.
All right, give us a roll.
Sig rolls a critical fail, which was apt for that turn.
We have had, in this fight, we've had, I think, 7 crit fails just in this room. One of which left Loras damn near unconscious on the ground. Okay, can you give me a D100, please, Sig? So if any new watchers, when a critical fail is rolled, we roll a D100 just to see how bad that critical fail is.
Sig has rolled a 55, which is probably a pass.
It's well, it depends what you think a pass is. All right, so the lower the number, the worse it is. So it's 55 isn't too bad.
C's get degrees.
As you run, you do find as you swing the hammer around to try and get it, so your sharpie end is aiming at the skeleton, and you kind of you tripped yourself up with that, and just glide face first into a sliding position, almost adjacent to that skeleton. You haven't taken any damage, but you are prone. Yeah. Okay. American, we are back with you.
She leans over Sildar, whispering in Elvish, "Let the spirits heal your wounds," and casts healing word at level 1.
It's a gentle touching healing word.
Not getting too intense. He has regained 6 HP.
As you speak your words, you do notice his breathing become a lot more rhythmic now. It's coming back to normal, and his eyes open ever so slightly, and he looks up at you and says, American, did we get them?
Sort of. I'm going to look around the room and see I'm going to stay crouched down next to him and see what's going on. I've been hearing some strange yelling.
Okay. Did you want to do anything? You've also got Ranzen that you've got control of, your pet spider.
I'm a little concerned about the situation in the corner.
Okay.
What with Loras being not the most level-headed of fellows. He seems to be having one of his episodes.
Okay. And Sildar just asks, can you help me to my feet?
Of course. I'll spend the rest of my turn just helping him to his feet, and I'll keep my eye on that situation.
Okay, great. And for Sildar's turn, he's just using you to be able to try and get himself back up to his feet, and he looks around at the carnage, the skeletons littering the floor of this room, and a rather menacing-looking Loras standing against the wall. Oh, sorry, standing close to that skeleton there. But that's. Can I also carry on?
That's his turn.
Yeah, but you can.
Can I just prepare an action of a dodge if anything comes at me?
No, because you used your action to heal. You can't.
No, that's a bonus action healing.
Oh, okay. Well then, by all means, what are you readying?
Dodge.
Just a dodge. So if anyone comes for
I'm
you,
just gonna get out of there.
Just gonna dodge. Okay, cool. Loras, we're back with you, my man.
Kind of not necessarily rage, but angered that this blow has not finished this skeletal creature in front of me. I ready my great axe once again, and I bring it back, and I go to attack once more.
Roll to hit.
Oh no!
Gosh, you've got Loras's luck. We're just continuing these. This is really bad.
Yeah, this is like legit. You've even got the rolls.
Don't worry, it's like he never left.
Give us a D100, please, Josh.
That is roll 1. No spelling mistakes on stream. Thank you.
That's 8.
Oh, look at that, with a beautiful roll of 100.
What the heck?
So you fail, but you don't fail miserably.
Whoa.
You swipe out and miss and accidentally just let go of your axe, and it bounces across against the opposing wall. So you're now without axe.
Unarmed? Okay.
Yeah,
You should get an extra axe for rolling 100. Another axe.
You failed so hard, you
get
grew
two-
another axe.
You get 2 axes.
We've both had. I think last time I did the same thing. Rolled a perfect 100. What are the odds? Well, don't.
Don't
It's
tell me
1
the
in
odds.
100. So
Easily calculable.
Yeah, I mean, we can figure this one out, I reckon.
Would I be able to use my bonus action to equip something?
Yeah, yes, you absolutely could.
Cool. So, seeing my axe kind of fly out of my hands, I look around and see that Loras also has 2 hand axes, I believe,
Okay.
and I reach for them too. Thus ending my turn.
I don't think we've ever seen Loras brandishing these hand axes. This is clearly not Loras in front of you guys.
He snatches his pockets.
That was
Fine.
the tell. That was
yeah.
Normally it'd be a
What
javelin.
does he have those?
that was the telltale sign to you, Bill, that something really isn't right here. He's lost his axe and just gone straight for the 2 hand axes at his side. Bill, you're up.
Bill just looks at Loras, and looks at the great axe on the ground, and looks at Loras, and looks at the hand axe. The great axe on the ground, and looks at his hands where the hand axes are. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes, I don't have time for this skeleton. And I try to punch him with the pommel, and then slash him with the broadside of the dagger.
Yes, let's do
I don't want
this. Surely one of these are gonna make contact.
Perhaps not.
Both miss, as I don't know if it's the distraction of Loras next to you, but you're having no luck landing these hits.
This is more like the form I'm used to.
I feel, yeah, man. Okay, all right. Is there anything else you'd like to do there, Bill?
That is my full action.
All right, it is the skeleton's turn once again. The one in front of Loras swipes out one more time and misses yet again, just deflected by the power coming off this this alternate Loras. The one in front of Bill, however, swipes out, rolling a 23. He dodges to the left of your punch with the pommel. He dodges to the right with your dagger, and then just slashes out with his short sword. And that's a 23.
It is a hit.
Dealing 3 damage as it scrapes across your chest. That's the skeleton's turn. Shannon, it's the Baron's turn. What have we got?
Well, I'm amazed that my poison didn't work, but now I know something more about skeletons. So that's good.
You can note that down at the end of this.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try Toll the Dead because it worked on his friend.
It absolutely worked on his friend.
He needs a Wisdom 14 saving throw.
It is a fail.
Oh, there's a failings.
You got to stick with what you do well, I guess. These Toll the Dead.
4 damage.
4 damage.
Not a
Again,
lot.
the skeleton just stops suddenly as this bell rings out in its head. And it stops for a minute and then just like knocks its head a couple of times with its hand, like, and just shakes it off. And he snarls over towards you this time.
Oh, he's still alive?
He is. Yeah, yep. Yes, he is.
Well, kind of undead?
Yeah, he's undead.
Okay. I look disconcerted. I don't want to back away. I just hold my book up in front of my face.
Okay. Okay, good. Roll for stealth. No, not hidden. Sig, over to you. You're now prone on the floor.
Sig is embarrassed by his clumsy move, and he spends his movement standing up, and as he does so, does a rising uppercut underneath the back of the chin of the skeleton near the other dudes.
The back chin.
The back
Every
chin.
skeleton's got one.
Oh. And rolls a 16 for 9 bludgeono damage.
Yeah. That's the magic number. That 9. That was it. You bring your hammer up underneath the back chin of this skeleton, and the head just flies over the top of Bill and onto the ground behind Bill, and the body just crumples to the ground. That skeleton is absolutely dead.
He's got a glass back jaw.
Yes.
Is that the term?
Yeah. The back jaw. Not the front jaw. Well, that's a nice little location you've taken yourself to, Sean. That's great.
Everything is going wrong.
We whisked
Yeah.
away the grease.
Unbelievable.
He's gone to his fantasy land, happy place. He's
I'm
like, I'm in
dreaming.
Greece right now.
That's where we started, is the gate outside the town. That's the same place. It's like, just why did I leave?
He's daydreaming of back home. Anything else, Sig?
As a bonus action, Sig would like to call out to the group, kill them all! Again!
Mirakin, over to you.
They're all dead.
Nope, there is still one.
Oh, there's one more.
Up against Loras.
All right, I'll take a shot with my bow and arrow.
You might want to move if you're going to take a shot. That's for sure.
To be honest, though, I don't want to shoot my comrades. They all seem to be clumping in that general direction. Maybe I'll move for a clearer shot first, line them up good and true, and then roll a terrible number.
Bring on another crit fail.
I'm ready to somehow shoot myself in the face. So I've got my short bow.
That was
I
close.
rolled a 17.
Yeah, a 17 is enough. Whereabouts are you aiming for this skeleton?
Ooh, and I get to show off my awesome little new accessory, my beautiful braces.
Oh,
They're powering up my awesome skills.
has that already been added to that roll, or?
Yes. I had to check. I think it's a
it?
+2. I think it's a +2 to damage.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna shoot for the eye socket.
Oh, the eye socket. You just is it a crossbow? Or is it a short bow? Okay, so you let that.
It's a short bow.
You knock that arrow and it flies true. That thing just hits straight into its eye socket, pushing the entire skull, crashing against the wall next to the door, killing that skeleton completely, absolutely and completely. As it hits the wall, you notice just a big booming shake of the ground that you've come to know as the waves echoing through this cave. But this one sounded a little stronger this time. And you can. It's shortly followed by, "I know you're in here." That's right. The chat has spawned Billy.
God. No.
Now the last time you guys saw Billy, he was much bigger than
Now he's much smaller. He's cute.
He's not much smaller. He is just as big as he was last time. And you see him.
He's fucking
He
huge.
can't fit in the room.
Yeah, he's a decent sized boy. And yeah, you can see him through the doorway. And he's just knocking on the wall. This door in front of you is only 6 foot tall by 4 foot wide. He seems to just be trying to punch through that doorway at the moment.
Oh, he's like the worst salesman, door-to-door salesman I've ever seen. Shut the
I
door,
want him to
someone.
He's holding a
I want him
vacuum.
to have a "Here's Billy" moment. That would be my ideal
Oh.
fantasy.
And he's blocking that door. He's just going to spend his turn. I'm just going to roll, see how well he's going to do it at widening that door. Not very well at all. So he is just slamming his fists into this doorway.
Well, we'll see who can last longer. We've got all these skeletons to eat. We've got nothing.
Yes, I'll be eating your skeleton soon.
Don't mention my skeleton. I don't like to think I have one.
So let's say that was Billy's turn. Sildar's turn. He turns around, still pretty groggy on his feet, and sees this monster of a Billy ogre standing in this doorway. And he's like, "What the fuck did you guys do to piss this thing off?" What is he?
Language, Dildar.
Yeah. And he sheathes his longsword and pulls his crossbow from his back. But that's how Sildar is spending his turn. Loras.
To clarify, is this a new fight?
This is a continuation.
This isn't a new fight. This is just continuing. Okay.
We are just continuing.
In my confusion, I look around and see everyone kind of just staring at this doorway. And I point at it and I go, Armork? Armork? And then kind of just like watching everyone else, I go to pick up my my great axe and I turn back. That's an action, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're I'll let you pick it up as kind of a free action, but if you're going to swap from your hand axes back to it, that would be an action.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, cool.
For now. And look back at the door and just say once more, Loktar, Ogre, and get ready.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna hold.
Nice. Bill. How's it going, Bill?
Yeah, I'm just really not sure what to make of Loras at this point. Like, obviously we're being pressed by Billy, but we're also, like, we have this kind of killer in our midst who's seemingly just only speaking in some foreign language, which I've never heard Loras speak before.
And you did see this kind of smoke infiltrate his skull and lift him up off the ground as well.
Yeah. I think the more worrying thing for me is the giant goblin outside the room.
That's fair.
So I'm just going to call out to him. I'm just going to say, Billy! Hey, Billy!
Yes, what is it?
You're mediocre. And he needs to save against my vicious mockery.
That's a wisdom? I always forget.
Yeah.
Okay. He's rolled an 8.
He does not save.
He does not save. What sort of damage are we talking?
We are talking a whole 1 damage.
Oh,
But important. He has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
No. He says, "That was pretty bad!" And he just continues slamming on the doorway.
I can't even argue with that. That was pretty good.
So he has disadvantage, does he?
Correct.
Ooh, I guess that is pretty good. I'll give him that.
I wish he had disadvantage on his joke.
Got a wrench?
Yeah, I just gave him wrench as the icon. To remind
to be
me,
the,
he has disadvantage. So what's the disadvantage on all attacks? Is that right? Just attacks?
On his next attack.
On his next
Just the
attack.
just the whatever the first one is.
Okay, cool. Baron, back to you.
Loras, so you okay?
I can respond.
Well, I don't know if you'd know the name Loras.
Yes.
You're probably face to face. You're looking over towards the doorway. So I don't know if you'd respond to that one. You'd hear it, but you wouldn't know what Loras is.
I turn back and I just say, Sma Nahur Armuk Armuk. And I just point back at the doorway.
Okay. When you turn towards me, I'm like, hi, hello. And there's no like recognition or anything. It's just angry. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's definitely some kind of. I think I've heard of this sort of thing, Bill. It's brain damage. I'm gonna try and do Toll the Dead on Billy because he doesn't seem to be. Loras doesn't attack him. I think he's just got some sort of disease or something. So Toll the Dead again. I mean, I'm tolling the dead a lot, but he's taking 1 damage. So
Yeah. So why not, right?
14.
So what am I
Wisdom
rolling?
14.
He
Wisdom
did-
14 check.
He crit succeeded on that. It was a net 20. He just brushes that off. He doesn't even hear it with the slamming of his fists on the wall.
Okay, I'm gonna go up behind this this corner over here. I'll leave this to you guys.
Okay, great. I'll get rid of the skeletons out of the turn order since there's no more of them. Sig, over to you. You've just you can see one of your arch enemies standing in the doorway trying to make the hole big enough to get through.
Indeed. Sig suddenly remembers that potentially last week I had my shield dropped. So I'm going to spend part of my turn picking up my shield. Oh,
there it is.
And then he's going to make his way over to Loras. As he approaches him, he points to the door as he sees his foe enter. And then he says, Loras, you go the far side, I'll go this side, and we'll meet him between our blades and destroy him.
He just nods, just...
In Sig's mind, he understands that Loras understands despite the confusion. And Sig will prepare a reaction as soon as Billy enters the room to smote him with his hammer.
Okay. All right. That is logged and ready. American.
I too am going to prepare an action. I'm going to step so that the door is squarely lined up with my bow and arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna... I don't know if I'll be able to... If everyone's standing in the way, I don't know if I'll be able to get a shot, to be honest. Because it's sort of standing right in the way. So maybe I won't do that. So he's trying to get in through a crack in the door. He's trying to bust it open, yeah?
Yeah, he's currently not having much luck. He's just smashing his fists against the door frame.
All right. Well, for my action, I'm going to try to coax my dear, sweet Ransen to coat my scimitars with poison.
Nice. Yep. You can spend both the action of yours and your pet spider to get that done.
Yes, my pretty.
And it is Billy's turn. And he's just thumping his fists on the wall. Let's see how he does with that. He does very well. And just caves in a bit of that doorway. Yes, Bill.
Does he have disadvantage on that roll?
Oh, it is an attack, isn't it? You're right. Actually, was it a strength challenge?
I'll defer to the DM.
I will say that was more of a test of strength. The same as if you guys were trying to bust down a door. It wouldn't be classified as an attack. So yeah, he busts down that doorway and starts entering into the room. I'm coming, little piggies! But this obviously triggers a slew of attacks. So Sig, can you give me a roll to hit?
Sig rolls a whopping 8.
That is a miss. I didn't mean to laugh, but you missed. That is it. American, you had something ready to go as well?
No, I cancelled it. Everyone was in the way of my shot.
You were doing...
I think I did, though.
Yeah, that's right. Right. So give us a roll to hit as well. Oh boy, you both Sig and Loris's like blades and hammer just like meet, clang, as there must have been a little confusion, something lost in translation in the instructions Sig had given. But Billy steps into this room and swipes out with just a giant club that he's holding in his hand. And he rolls with disadvantage a 10. And so he also just slams his club down into the ground next to Sig, who was his arch nemesis. Missing completely. It's Sildar's turn, and he just lets fly with a bolt from his heavy crossbow. Oh, that is a miss as well. This thing just clangs into the door frame. This newly widened door frame. And Sildar's like, God damn it! And he kind of rubs his eyes. He's still not quite awake from having been dead just a moment ago. Loras, we're back with you.
I'm going to, just infuriated once more that I've missed so many times. I'm going to bring up my axe again, and I'm going to just yell, "Oh, Nrain Kapul!" and bring it down, hopefully on his face. Great axe style.
Oh, oh, and that was great. That was very great. That is a nat 20. That is a critical success. And with that, 17 damage. Man, okay. That just cuts down into one of the meatiest parts of Billy's shoulder. It kind of gets stuck in there for a little bit before you pull it, you tear it out. And Billy says, "Oh, the big boy really knows where it goes, huh?" Oh, a bonus action of
Spit on him.
spit. I want you to
Bonus action of spitting on him.
give me a D20 for that spit action. Just a straight D20.
What are we talking in terms of volume, in terms of velocity?
This is accuracy. Let's see. 13. That's all right. It doesn't quite hit where you were trying to get, but it definitely sends the message. Bill, we're back with you.
Bill's gonna step forward and form up and look down the line at who he thinks is probably Loras and Sig as well, and then he's just gonna lock eyes with the enormous goblin in front of him, and he's just gonna start singing, but into his mind, casting dissonant whispers.
Nice.
And I say, "Well, the years start coming and he don't stop coming. Fed to the vultures and he hits the ground running. Didn't make sense not to unlive for fun. His brain is smart, yeah, his head is dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So why do we always see Billy? He'll never know if you don't go. He'll never die, he just grows. Hey now, hey, Billy, get your gob on, get raised. Hey now, you're a goblin or an ogre or zombie." Needs to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Where's my lighter? I need to hold it up.
Yeah, I always feel bad like rolling against these and winning after such a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Loras kind of just looks at him, looks down at the ground, and just shakes his head and says, "Lorpakan."
Billy failed. Billy definitely failed that one.
Okay. So, what that means is that he takes 11 psychic damage,
Ooh.
and he needs to run away from me,
Oh,
provoking
that's-
attacks of opportunity from myself, I believe, Sig,
Yep.
and also Loras.
Yeah, so does he run straight away or on his turn? It'll be on his turn, right?
Ooh, good question. Must immediately use his reaction.
Oh, wow. Well, he's like, okay, so Billy hearing this says, "Oh, Christ, that was terrible," and just turns and starts running back. I quit, that was horrible. As he runs away, getting attack of opportunity from everybody in front of that door frame.
I rolled 14.
Ooh.
The one thing that you may not have noticed until this moment is that he's not wearing quite the same. Oh wait, so I'll let Josh. What you got your hand up there?
Can I use my inspiration?
Boom! Yeah, you can.
Come on, buddy. Come on. No! It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
You take the better of the two.
We'll take the 8 on that one, I think. What you may not have noticed is Billy is not wearing the same sort of armor that you've seen him in before. He is now wearing something more suited to an ogre. So Bill, your attack hits.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say he's not wearing pants.
It's kind of
So
not.
he
It's just like
takes-
one of those big cloths draped over him. I think you just bring it down his back and into his butt crack like a little F-boss card.
Butt creak.
Butt creak. He's got a butt creak.
So
It's that big.
he takes,
Wider.
so he takes 11 psychic damage and 3 piercing damage from my rapier.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, what does that mean for his next turn? Is he doesn't is he always running away now, or does he on a failed save he takes the damage and immediately if available moves far away? So he's just going to keep running, I guess. He's just going to run directly up. Up
I
against
don't
that door.
think he has to continue running.
Yeah, it
Is
doesn't
my
say
re-
he
is
has
my
to keep
read of that?
running.
It says okay, cool. No, that's fine. That's cool. Baron, over to you.
Oh, okay. So he's run away. I guess I can't see him from here.
No, not
I'm
from
gonna-
there.
I'm going to peek out. Just tell me when I can see him.
You'd probably have to go in one more step.
I'm a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. He's freaking me out.
Yeah, that whole doorway area is broken now, so you'll be able to
Oh
see
my
him.
god. And look, he's wearing assless chaps. I'm going to... Can I shoot him? I'm going to...
Yeah, he's still got his back to you.
Not with my gun. I'm going to... shoot him in ass creek with chill touch.
Chill touch.
Ooh, 20.
A nat 20.
Necrotic damage on butt creek.
Whereabouts was that ghostly hand aiming?
It was a big butt.
Just this big, but just you basically just ramped up a big ghostly like slapping against his bare ass, and that hand just like cracks against his butt,
Ooh.
and it just like shakes the room and the air around it, and it disappears, leaving this big necrotic welt on his ass that slowly spreads up and over the entirety of him as he falls to the
God.
ground dead.
What?
You played a serious game of slap ass with Billy just now.
Oh my god. I just looked down at my own hand and back up at his ass a couple of times and just put my hand back in my pocket.
Yeah, and that is initiative over. Look at the fight. It's done. It's done. Perfect timing with that crit success there, I think.
In that moment, I would like to back away from everybody, kind of into the center of the room, just eyeing everyone with the great axe outstretched, and I'm going to repeat the words "Armaruk, Armaruk."
Silda takes a step towards what he thinks is Loras. He's got his hands up. Are you all right, big boy?
You speak Nahur.
No. And he's looking. He looks around to the rest of the group. Do you guys know what he's talking about?
You are a man.
Yes.
Where am I? Who are you people?
At this point, Bill just throws his hands up, like, whoa. Big fella. We're your friends, remember?
I look at my hands, and I kind of just start to take myself in, and I say, "This body is not mine." Do I see anything that might
I think.
ascertain to what has happened around here?
Yeah, you see a bunch of bones on the ground. Some of them wearing very recognizable armor to you. Orcish armor that you recognize almost instantly. There's also a little bit of a mirrored reflection on the great axe in your hand that you catch a small glimpse of your face.
Sees Loras being crazy again and bolts from the room. to lay into the body of the hobgoblin with his hammer.
Yeah, you just beat that necrotic pile to just like a paste.
So having seen the something rise up into Loras's body, in the midst of Loras kind of becoming unconscious or maybe close to it, as far as I know, I just say, are you... I'm gonna guess you're not Loras. And I'm just gonna drop like my dagger and my rapier to being holding on to them with like the pinky and the forefinger and thumb for the dagger, and then just dropping the rapier into the pommel, just like in a kind of, I'm not here to harm you. I think something's happened to our friend, and I think something has happened to you.
I kind of not quite pay attention to what he's saying as I take in the room and I look at the remains of those around me, the piles of ash, the bones, and I kind of softly under my breath just say, Mabar, Nar, Unmark, and take in some of the ash, and I clasp it close to my chest. My name is Lukar Sadi of the Dagu Vral, and this is the ash of my brothers. And I pocket it.
Yeah, the rest of you know what all these bodies are. You know that they're the bodies of both orcish fighters as well as some of the miners as well. So it can go either way. You're not 100% sure, but it's kind of, I think they're all you recognize the orcish name as well.
Rukar, was it?
Yes.
You seem awfully calm, Bill. What's going on?
Do you mean us any harm? We need to know.
An orc with no tribe is no orc. I mean you no harm.
Josh, as Loras, I should say, is it Ruka?
Lukar.
I think he is slowly regaining some of the memories that led to his to where he is now. He remembers the fight that took place in this room, and he remembers that he fell in the same spot that Loras fell.
Whoa.
I kind of point to that spot, and I say, many years ago, I died in this room, next to my brothers, next to my family. We were the proud Dagu Vral, and we came here to search for a weapon. But it seems we found only our graves.
Silda speaks up. You were sent to take the forge, were you not? With a little bit of anger in his voice.
Yes. We were told that we would find a great weapon here to help us in our battles. We were tricked.
Silda steps sort of past Mirakin and over some of the dead skeletons, standing on their bodies as he goes through, and comes face to face with what looks still like Loras. And says, "Who tricked you? Who? Your people? The miners? Who?"
No. The great black one. The one with 8 legs. He tricked us.
and we died here because of him. And I will see him dead too.
If no one says anything, I once more put down Loras' hand on the ground, and I say,
Loktar, O God, brothers. Victory or death.
and I stand back up again.
I think Silda turns to Mirakin at his side. The black one. The black spider.
Yes, indeed, but is Loras dead? What's happening? Is this normal here?
This Loras you speak of, he is in tune with the spirits, no?
And I kind of hold out some of the totems that Loras has.
My people, we too are in tune with spirits. And I found my way here through these.
Well, do you know what's happened to the last person that was in that body? I'm very concerned. At least mildly.
I close my eyes and just
Baron just shrugs.
kind of check to see if he's in there.
Yeah, I think
if he still breathes.
You can feel him in the back of your mind. It's faint, but he doesn't seem to be fighting for control.
He is here.
Can I search my experiences to know if this is ever something I've heard of?
Give me what would be a good roll for this?
Arcana, maybe?
Yeah, you give me an
Or
Arcana.
history, or I don't know.
Give me a history check, I think.
It's 14.
Yeah, there's been stories back from your home tribe of souls being able to take over the bodies of people at moments of weakness. You've never seen it before, and you thought it was only some sort of story.
Mm.
At this point, Sig strolls back into the room and talks to Bill. Bill, that big ugly one is dead. Should we carry on?
He better be.
Hang on a minute.
What are your intentions with this forge?
I'm
destroy
going to step
it.
forward
Mm-hmm.
if nobody else has stuff to address. And
Okay.
if it's all right with you, DM, I think I would probably have not enough to be fluent, but enough understand the niceties of Orcish culture,
Okay.
like Cura and Morena and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Enough to pay some respect, but not enough to have a conversation.
Sure, I'll let that.
And I say, Lokta Regar Dul El Dul, which basically means welcome, brother, blood for blood.
What race are you again?
I'm a half elf.
He snickers and says,
Lur Kichakishi.
and just says, looks at you, and basically says, you have flowers in your blood.
Okay, that's completely blank to me because
Yeah.
I don't have enough to comprehend what he's saying.
I think you just take this, Bill. You take this as the equivalent of being told, absolutely, this is, I am with you kind of thing. That's what you've taken from this.
I just nod. And I think where I would get my my base level is during my time as a slave. A lot of slaves were Orcish, so I'd have some I couldn't converse, but I could. I'd heard a few things.
Cool. So I think you missed a question that Lurik gave to the group. Lugar, sorry, gave to the group. Do you want to repeat that again, Josh?
What are your intentions with the forge?
We're here to destroy it.
Sig steps forward. We're not here to destroy it. And he looks over to Mirakin and then over to
really?
Loras. What happened when I was outside? You seem smarter, Loras.
Again, your Loras is not here. I am Nukar, Sadi of the Daguvral.
Sig would like to see if he thinks new Loras is telling the truth or not.
Give me an insight check.
Sig rolls a 14.
Yeah, you don't recognize this to be Loras, other than the outward appearance, the skin on this body. He has a different way about him in every way.
Sig puts down his shield and his hammer. And he gets out his book. He starts to take notes.
I'm just gonna ask the Baron. Hey, Baron, you're a master of life and sometimes death.
I wouldn't say a master.
You ever seen anything quite like this?
It's intriguing. I've been writing this down too. It's like very strong necromancy or something. How long have these people been dead for?
I'll say the war took place here 100 years ago.
Okay. I thought it was much longer. It's not that bad.
No, just 100. Just one of them.
Just 100.
Just one of those 100.
Exactly 100.
Yeah, give or take a few days, I think.
Oh, it's anniversary. Okay, well, do I know? Can I answer the question that Bill?
Sure.
Answered? I don't know if I. No, I mean, like, do I know anything like this?
I think you'd probably know just as much as Mirakin, that it's not something that's seen very often at all, and it's as far as you know or are aware, it's not a spell. It's not something that is cast by someone that you are aware of.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the force of will or something.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I'll
at
try and
this
say
stage,
that.
seems like a lateral move at this stage. I'm willing to give new Loras a try.
Yeah, I think we're very lucky to see this kind of phenomenon, and I write it down in my book.
But something
Halley's Comet.
something is concerning me. Sig, we're not here to destroy the forge. Surely we don't want.
I would see my brothers avenged.
Well,
If you stand in my way, Sma Nahur, then you will share the same fate.
This is surprising, but I think I'm with that guy, the new guy.
if you want revenge on the Black Spider, then destroying that forge will ruin his plans.
The Black Spider lives.
We believe him to be here.
Sig puts down his book. Perhaps then we can agree to rid this place of the Black Spider first, and then we can debate what we do with the Forge of Spells.
I've seen this reasoning more than once. I fear the minds of men and their lust for power cannot be trusted around such artifacts.
Loras nods and points. Says,
She speaks with wisdom.
Well, maybe we should find the forge before we make any decisions. But I have to admit, I'm kind of with the big guy.
Is it just me, or is Sildar even wheezier than normal? We need to get this boy patched up.
I'm still very bloody.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
Sildar,
Sildar.
let me lay my hands on you.
Oh.
Wise
Those
words,
knees,
Sildar.
like squirting blood.
he's still got like a stab wound. that
How's
he's-
everyone
that he's
looking?
bleeding from. Okay, well, I'll
We
describe.
might need to take time out for some first aid.
Yeah, Sildar's not looking good. He does have still an open wound in his stomach that's still bleeding. He's still bleeding. There's a little
Sort of
blood
bad
trail
when
back. There's a little
you
blood
ended
trail
it
back to
on
where
the
he
work.
was on the ground, brought to the ground.
It's mainly just my knees and my hands. I got a good scraping after that rope encounter, so I'm actually okay. How's everyone else looking?
I'm not that good, but I think I could do with a short rest.
Agreed,
Yeah.
Mr. Baron.
I'm pretty
Before
fucked, to be honest.
uh, before we rest, I can use some more magic to help.
Okay, what
I'm
kind
going
of
to speak
magic is
some
that?
healing words over dear Bill for a paltry 6 is.
It's not poultry.
Zig not poultry to me. Nice.
Sig just looks over to American and then looks over to bleeding Sildar. American, do you have any more magic for this wounded man?
My stomach definitely hurts more than my knees.
I'll hand him the last piece of cheese.
Oh.
That's
Kind of handy.
Wait, I thought you'd already given it to him and he stored it, didn't he? I think that was what
Oh, yeah,
ended
he
up
did.
happening with it.
I did actually give it to him.
But you mentioning
pocket.
you mentioning the cheese, he does sort of like, oh yeah, and reaches into his pouch and starts eating that. It only gives him 1 HP though.
But importantly, it fills him up for a day.
I mean, he's not hungry anymore for sure. If it wasn't for the wounds and the knees, that would have really hit the spot.
Sildar, how many hit dice do you have? Maybe you should expend some.
Yeah. Yeah, let's if you guys get a short rest. Are you guys looking at taking a short rest?
I am.
I'd like to suggest that we loot the bodies, including
Oh.
the giant goblin. And
Ogre.
then short rest.
Was it?
Oh, it's wait, so he's ogre sized, but you do know him as Billy Goblin, I guess.
Ah.
But yeah. Okay, you guys can spend some time pilfering through all the bodies, but there's nothing on the skeletons. Everything that was of worth was either what they were wearing or the weapons in their hands. Billy Goblin, after an extensive search through his loincloth, you do find just a health potion tucked away. Right next to his balls. No.
Can I get that?
Bill gains 1 warm health potion.
And I hand it off to Sig.
Sig gratefully takes it and pouches it.
Right next to your pool.
We are children.
We are.
We
This
are
is
absolute children.
every week. Well, I think if you guys are looking at taking a break, we'll take a break as well. We'll take a 5-minute break, which usually ends up being a 10-minute break. But we just sit and chat about what's been going on, and I sort of take a look at the chat and see what's been going on in there as well. But if you need to grab a drink, either if you're watching and need a drink, just do it. Just grab a drink. I'm not going to stop you. The same with you guys as well. If you guys are feeling parched.
I do hope everybody was holding off from grabbing drinks right until then.
Hey, I'm just rocking this unlabeled water. Perfect.
Nice.
Unlabeled
Hydration
at a store near
without
you.
getting sued.
Yeah, nice, nice.
I like it was unlabeled, so you left your options open for who might sponsor your order.
yeah. That's a good point.
And I think I
Fiji
found
water.
this next to Billy's balls.
Oh, there it is.
Delicious.
Ugh. Okay.
So red.
I do just want to say an awesome thank you to. We've got a few followers. We've got a few cheers as well. So T Dragon R, thank you for the follow. German D&D. I'm just going to assume that you like either watching German D&D or you're German. and play D&D. One of the two. Lachisi Rue gave us a host, which is fantastic. Jester Grimm gave us a follow. Run Amok Child followed us as well. I'm assuming, Blame, that these are some of your folks that have stopped by and are just like,
Yeah, I'm
"We
hearing
love
some
Blame."
familiar names.
Yeah. We had a decent back and forth of people cheering to get Billy spawned, which was fantastic. And Aziraphale7, Aziraphale? I don't know. But thank you guys so much for your following. It's awesome. That kind of support is just fantastic. Every streamer loves seeing those things pop up. And we've had just a lot of people talking as well. Poetry Love has been loving your words. Loving your words, Josh. T or Death, who I recognize from Twitter as well, is here to check out what we're up to, which is fantastic. Just heaps. Don Toucan. I'm just going to assume everyone who's talking is on the Blame train. Is that right, Josh? There we go.
I'm seeing some familiar names.
Yeah. We've got all our usuals as well. We've got Random Origins here, which is always cheering for Billy to be spawned. I believe I saw Sharpie Edges in there as well, which is always a regular here. It's great. It's been a good session. I haven't... there's a couple of names I haven't spotted.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's
up?
What is Blame's name?
Oh, it's Josh.
Well, not his name.
Oh, the character
His
name?
name. And that comes from the chat. The's a little bit of debate.
Right.
Luca.
It's Lucar, which is L 2 U's.
2 U's.
That's also an H, a lowercase K, an A, an R.
Wrap it up with the R.
Which you roll.
Yeah.
With R. Originally, when I was writing it, I was like, I'll throw a G in there, maybe an H, maybe a little umlaut over there. That'll be nice. But I think I'm going to make it very basic so everybody can at least maybe sad. I don't think I should add it to the overlay or anything like that, though, because again, this is still Loras's body. This is still very much someone else.
When you sent me through your character's name, I was like, I am not going to get that one right. So, yeah.
It's New Loras.
New Loras. It starts with an L. It's the same. We'll just run through all the usual stuff. If you guys are liking what you're seeing and you haven't given us a follow, please do. All the support is fantastic. If you really like what we do, just hit that subscription button. I believe any new subscriptions at the moment are like half price or something. Subtember, I think it's called.
Subtember.
So that's pretty awesome. If you want to support us in other ways, we've only got the Billy Goblin shirt, everybody. The Billy Goblin shirt with the cool stylized getting dicey dice on the side. Thanks to Joe. On my screen and on the stream, she's there. So if I'm pointing to Sig or something, I'm sorry for you guys. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Designed by Joe, which is awesome. It's fantastic. And I think I like it more than the other design, but the other design's super cool as well. It's Billy. It's Billy Goblin with my mouth. It's fantastic. Nice guns.
I can't take too much credit.
You can take
the original art was that was just official D&D art, wasn't it?
It is. We have ripped off the official.
I didn't design
Goblin
the
art.
character.
Okay, all right.
You've remixed it.
I've remixed it.
And if you want to chat to us throughout the week about D&D, either what we're doing in this campaign or what you're playing if you're playing D&D, come and join us in our Discord as well. But Josh, tell us about what you do. Tell us about the Blame Train. What's going on over on your Twitch channel?
Hi, everybody. My name is Blame the Robot, also known as Josh. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to the Getting Dicey crew for having me on the stream today. It's been I've only been playing D&D for a very short time, but what I feel like I'm bringing to the crew is years of stage theater and acting with where is he? Where is he in relation to the screen? This guy up here?
There.
No, wrong way. That
There we
way.
go.
Yes, no, that way. No, that way.
Yeah.
There we go. We've had a bit of history working together on film and stuff like that, and it's just really cool to be able to be here today.
Yeah.
I recently started my own Dungeons and Dragons thing as well, which is a little bit more lighthearted to what I think most people watching would be used to, because it all takes place in a fantastical camp in the middle of Faerun, and all of our characters are like 10 to 16 years old.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's a very interesting game.
We've got the My Hero Academia of D&D going on, is it? They're all unlocking, their powers and...
It's more like the Welcome to Night Vale, Gravity Falls of Faerun.
Yeah, what's the name of the camp? that
It's
they're
Camp Chuckanax,
Yeah, that's
because
awesome.
I love puns like that.
yeah. So all of our people, if you guys are watching, definitely pop over to Blame's Twitch, which is just twitch.tv/Blame the Robot.
That is the one.
Head there because on Sunday mornings, 10 a.m., he's goes live with his D&D channel, which is beautiful timing. Like, we have the worst schedule for our D&D, so we're lucky we've got any viewers, let alone 23 beautiful viewers right now checking us out. So
that 8 p.m. New Zealand time, which is like
Man.
4 a.m. anywhere else.
yeah. We've got like I believe Octoboss was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still about, but he's California based as well, I believe, and he's
Nice.
he's been a pretty loyal follower since he found us, which has been fantastic.
And you know what? It always means the world when someone's willing to wake up very early in the morning to catch you, right?
Yeah, really. It's just awesome. It's fantastic. We started this, started streaming this. Oh, he's still here. Thanks, Octobus. That rules. So yeah, we started streaming this. When did we do this? Like maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now, John, I believe. And something like that. Maybe, maybe a year and a half ago.
On 2 years.
No. We just recently had our 1 year thing, didn't we? That's why we had our giveaway. That was our.
It kind of been 2 years. It doesn't feel like
streaming or since we started playing.
Oh, sorry, I was talking streaming specifically.
Yeah, probably not that long, over a year.
Yeah, and that was a hard road to get even to where we are now. It's just the time zone, and even spreading the word is really hard. Yeah, you can. All you need to do is look at how many people are watching D&D right now on Twitch. Let's have a look. I bet the number's like 60 or something crazy.
Oh, you'd be surprised with D&D. I always find
there are 53 viewers total across the D&D category right now.
Maybe not that surprised then.
yeah.
I've got a random question. Oh, carry on, Bill.
I was going to say you go.
No, you go.
Mine's like apropos of nothing, but I was just wondering if you have an accent of some kind. Like, are you just? Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
I am born and raised Kiwi, but I watched a lot of television.
Yeah, you sound quite American.
Yeah, no, I get that a lot. I actually come from Hawke's Bay, born and raised. But it's funny that every time I go back there, people are always like, "Oh, mate, where are you from?" I'm like, "Here." Yeah, but where are you from? Like Canada or something?
Yeah.
No, here.
Interesting.
I think you give the R as a little more pronunciation than the average Kiwi. Just go R.
Yeah, maybe.
But what did I interrupt you saying there, John?
I don't remember now.
No, I knew that was going to happen.
That's always.
I'm trying to do the Brady Bunch thing, where I'm just like looking at everyone's frame.
Mm-hmm. Was I looking? Oh yeah, I was looking.
I think I've got everybody. Oh yeah.
Joe.
There we go.
John.
I guess I was disinterested in the whole orcish thing. Because I did a quick Google and I was like, I can say will do and see if people are into it. Hi, Jackalope.
Hey, Jackalope's here as well. Welcome back. Have you been hit the whole time?
Oh, you got some orcish notes?
I've got orcish notes here.
Because I recognize the Loktar Gar from Warcraft.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing is that a lot of the orcish language that's available is kind of like accumulated into this random mishmash of whether or not it's actually official from the D&D world or just mixed in from World of Warcraft. So it's kind of like this is a bastardization of the language. But that Loktar Ogar is victory or death from WoW.
Yes.
Because the thinking about Tolkien and Warcraft, because Tolkien kind of decided what orcs were and where they came from and those sorts of things, and then Warcraft decided to kind of take that race and plant it into their world, and then gave it like a whole new life. So I always think it's quite interesting to think about those differences in the way that they like expect those people to be. But
Yeah.
there's quite a lot of similarity, right?
Well, it's actually really interesting because one of the biggest authors, H.P. Lovecraft, a lot of like his Arkham universe, his world of monsters and stuff, are actually what would happen is he'd kind of write these creatures, write this world, then other authors would pen into that and be like, oh, he said this about the kind of like mind flayer type monsters, and then they'd write about that, and he'd see what they'd written. They go, yes, absolutely, that's it. I'm making that official, which I think is kind of what has happened with like things like, Dungeons and Dragons and World of Warcraft and stuff. It's like this really great amalgamation of different languages and things that like kind of feel official no matter what.
That's cool.
Yeah,
H.P.
really
Lovecraft. I need to finally get around to reading H.P. Lovecraft. I haven't done any of that yet. But are you guys ready? This could probably go on forever talking about orc lore and stuff. So are you guys ready to hit back into the Wave Echo Cave? Yeah, cool. Let's take you guys back. All right. And you might have to scroll down to the bottom again. Cool.
Oh man, I was so ready to hit Billy with my best shot. And he just died from a slap on the ass.
He just got slap-assed to death. It was great.
I mean, I wouldn't wish it any other way, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was surprised that it happened like that. It was brutal.
Yeah. A necrotizing slap-ass. It's great. So did you guys want to have your short rest?
Before we do, Sig would just like to relax for a minute, take a breath. Actually, 2 breaths, and use second wind to gain back some sweet HP.
Here we go. This is the favorite part of. Do you have your charisma modifier?
This is a slightly different one, which I use rarely, which is 1d10 plus my fighter level. So I'm going to roll a d10. And to get a 10. Plus 4, which means I gain 14 HP.
Ooh, I like going.
Those breaths were extra breathable.
That's awesome.
Wait, what level are you?
Level 4. All right.
I feel like that kid at the table who's just like, yeah,
4 is good.
I got it too. I know the joke.
Everyone's level 4.
What I will say, because we had a lot of I don't know if these people are still around, but we had a lot of back and forth cheering. Now, Random Origins did give Lugar some point of inspiration there, but if Octoboss and Bob Slayer, not Bob's Layer, that would be weird, and Random, you'll get to gift some more inspiration since you've cheered so much. So feel free to let us know in the chat who you're going to be giving that to. So if you guys are wanting to do your short rest and everything that entails with that, by all means, go right ahead.
Cool. I will do that.
Yes.
So what does that mean for everyone? American, what does a short rest mean for you? I'm assuming we're just doing an hour short rest?
Yeah. I'm going to try and find something that's not the floor to sit on.
Right. There's just sort of skeletons. You might be able to sit. You might be able to sit on a piece of armor, maybe, to soften.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Soften it? I don't know. Yeah.
I'm gonna pet dear Runsen, my spider child.
Oh, we can't forget that you do have a poisoned weapon at the moment as well. Don't forget that.
I've got 2 poisoned scimitars. And before that I poisoned my daggers. How often do I get to poison things?
Well, so you can't like double poison something. So like once it's poisoned, it wears off once you attack with it, and then you can poison it again. Just be aware that it takes a full action of both you and Ranzan.
Can I poison things during a short rest?
Yeah, by all means, go right ahead.
Poison everything.
Just poison Sig and Bill.
I would never do such a thing.
Sig, you've been gifted inspiration from Octoboss. So add that to your D&D Beyond. For anyone watching, we do have the D&D Beyond overlay live as well, so you can check people's hit points live as they update them through D&D Beyond. as well as whether or not they have inspiration. You guys tell me when you guys are done, when you're ready to go.
Okay.
When you guys are
On the overlay, it seems to still reflect that I only have 15, but I've definitely taken my short rest and applied the...
It might just take a little bit to update.
Yeah, might do.
Maybe.
Yeah, and in this time, what, with your permission, GM, Lucard is going to do is he's going to kind of gather a bit of the ash of his fallen brothers and the remains and kind of just mix it up using... there's not really much in his pack that he can do anything with. Tell you what, let's get frisky with it. He's going to cut a little bit of a... cut his hand slightly to mix the ash in with the blood, and with that he's going to start painting himself with the tribal markings of the Dagu Vral as his people.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. On his face, and bring it down, of course, to his chest.
Nice.
Tuning him back with his brothers and his ancestors.
That's awesome. One thing Loras loves more than anything is not bathing, so he's going to totally be fine having this extra schmutz on him when he should he ever come
covered
back.
in shit at the moment.
Yeah. Just he's covered in blood and everything. Yeah.
I
Slightly
get arcane
concerned.
recovery.
What's arcane
Sorry.
recovery?
Just gets 2 spell slots. Well,
Oh, nice.
up to a level. Up to 2, yeah.
Okay, perfect. While you guys are resting, every few minutes you're just hearing the of these waves echoing throughout this cave, and the ground just slightly rumbling.
American, didn't you tell us to remind you of something for your short rest? I can't remember what it
Yes,
was.
I've managed to recover my spell slots that I used helping you
right.
heal.
Cool. And I'm just going to give our dear friend Silda some hit points as well.
Hmm.
How much is he going to get?
All of them.
Every single one. No,
His knees heal up. Scabby little knees. We were saying that, he's got big shoulder pads. He needs big knee pads as well. It's a weak point.
All right. So are we all rested? Have we all adjusted our hit points? Have we got our spell slots back if we need those spell slots? You guys don't need spell slots, do you? No. Okay.
Yeah. Spell schmell.
Yeah. All right. So the room has a bunch of just dead shit all over the place.
It was a really bad idea to come in here, guys.
There is no door or sort of opening to this room now. It just is joined directly to the corridor that leads to a rotten pulp that was Billy Goblin. Billy Ogre.
Sig, where do you think we should go?
I think we should head towards the carcass of Billy Ogre. There was a door over that direction. I thought we should clear out. What do you guys think?
Yep. I'll search around here a bit because this is a horrible shithole, but I wonder if there might be something. I'll search. Well, you open the door? Or Billy's butthole door?
You have to climb through his butthole to get to the door. No, he's pulpy. There's just kind of like a mess that Sig has just spread his rotten
Disgusting.
body across the ground there.
Why did you have to make such a mess, Sig?
Indeed, Billy will be killed at every opportunity.
I'm just going to keep my distance from the big guy. I'm quite frightened of him. And I know orcs have quite a bad history with elves, so he probably isn't fond of me either.
Baron, you've done like an investigation in that room. And you rolled pretty well. There's a 21 there. Realistically, there's just rubble from collapsed parts of the ceiling. There's but obviously all the bones from all of the dead in this room. There looks to be some stone bunks that have kind of crumbled away. There doesn't seem to be really anything other than what is already there. It's been so long
Okay.
before anyone has touched this room.
Check under the bed.
It's like
I already checked under the bed.
Okay.
yeah. So they're stone slab sort of bunks, so there's nothing really to them.
Okay, I'm just going to report to Dildar that I've investigated and I've found a whole bunch of bones.
Well, yeah. I mean, look around. Jeez.
Takes a keen eye to notice those.
Yeah. And Sildar follows out towards this other door. So, who's Sig? You're up against this door. What's the plan?
So Sig looks back to the party and looks at each in turn to see if they'll nod to him that they're ready to enter.
Yep.
I'll nod.
You get a bunch of nods.
Nice. So Sig
Scared nod.
carefully tries the door handle to see if it is unlocked.
Yeah. There's a sort of iron hinge on this big stone door, and like the door that you've just come through, or what that used to be there, it's about 6 foot high, 4 foot wide. They're very wide, short doors, but it doesn't seem to be locked.
Sig opens the door.
Are you stealthily? Are you sort of peering in, or are you just opening the door? Okay, the door. All right. I love this. There's no like. You just got taken out by a bunch of skeletons. You're just like, I don't care. I'm just going to go through the door and see what's in there.
Sig knows fear.
Yeah, there's
but
nothing in there. There's. Okay, so you enter and it looks like it used to be maybe an office or a storeroom of some kind. There's a large stone counter that sort of divides the room in half, and there's 3 dusty balanced scales made of iron sitting on this counter. There are cubby holes carved into the north wall past that counter, and they're stuffed with just dusty paper scraps. There's several long dead corpses sprawled across this floor.
Once Sig has ascertained that there is no threat into the room, he calls back to the party. Come in, it's another useless room.
Are there any skeletons in there?
There's
Ah,
None?
Are there any things in the ceiling?
Sig.
They're just waiting for
Are
me
you-
to go
Sig
in.
ignores the party and waits for them to enter the room.
All right,
Bill.
I enter the room.
So much for the
So-
war scholar.
So there are skeletons in the room, or
There's several long dead. Some of them seem to just be mummified. There's just
I missed that part. So there are.
there are some long dead corpses as I
and
mentioned.
what race are they?
They look to be maybe gnomish and orcish. I think Lugar picks up on the shape of some of these corpses and sees more of his fallen brethren.
Do I remember having come through this room?
No, you don't. As far as you're aware, you haven't been in this room.
Lucard just approaches some of them and just sighs with his hand on one of the shoulders and whispers a sort of Groomsh-like prayer.
Cool. Sildar enters the room as well.
Bill's going to enter the room sparking a torch in an almost like holy fashion.
Okay.
And once I get it lit, I'm just going to pull out and say, well, I suppose we ought to pay our respects to the dead, and place my torch at the foot of the nearest corpse, waiting for
Burning it?
execution.
Are you burning it?
Yeah.
Is there anything on the orc body that I see that I might recognize as part of our tribe? Perhaps
Yeah.
like a necklace or anything like that?
The armor that they're wearing has the ornate decorations that you recognize from your tribe.
I would like to pull some kind of a memory or or something that I can use later to kind of respect my fallen brothers in the future, and just as a memory of all of those who fell here.
Cool. So are you guys just letting this thing burn?
Could I just say quietly to Brian, do you think you could try that detecting magic ritual again?
It's a good idea.
I'm not keen on the Scully boys getting the jump on us again.
Yes. Yeah, can I try doing detect magic?
Yeah, I mean that takes 10 minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing that, can I just quickly say to Luca, would it be rude if we smash these skeletons?
How did these can I detect or tell how these people have how these orcs have died?
Give me an investigation roll.
Sure. Investigation. There we go.
Oh.
It's a roll of a 4. You can tell that they were killed, and that's really, it wasn't old age that they died from. Yeah, there's looks to have been some sort of battle that probably, from what you can tell, probably matched the one that you yourself were caught in.
And I've taken the ornate object that I want, right?
Yeah, for sure.
From the body, okay.
We'll say that there was like a tribal necklace around one of them. You recognize that as being only given to a select few to lead people into fights.
It is an orc's greatest honor to die in battle. After that, we are just bodies.
And he kind of just starts to leave the room.
Yeah, because the smoke is starting to fill like a little, maybe a foot of the room, the top foot of the room at the moment. There's nowhere for the smoke to escape.
Stinky.
Bill. Yeah, I was kind of waiting for the okay.
Oh, okay.
But seeing that happen, I'm just going to torch these mofos.
Okay. There's enough in here to make this room like pretty dangerous to hang around in.
Oh man,
Lucar might be a bit angry if he hears you say, "Let's torch these mofos."
Yeah. So
Bill,
Sildar sort of exits the room.
I was going to check these gnome stuff. You know, gnomes usually have written down interesting stuff, but it's I'm going to start coughing and leave.
Yeah, I mean, you could make your way over to those cubby holes if you want. What's that? Sorry, Bill?
The gnome's on fire.
I think
what
so.
about the paper? Was there anything on the paper?
Yeah, there was like some old paper in the cubby holes.
Yeah, maybe I'll just
grab
quickly...
the paper.
I'll go grab some.
I'm going to need a dexterity roll if you're going to make your way past a bunch of...
I'm going to control flames.
You can
with
carry
my
me.
cantrip control flames to keep them away from my buddy.
Okay, we can do that. We'll totally do that. He's still going to need a bit of a dexterity roll, but it'll be with advantage.
You just said advantage. I rolled a 3.
Go, Brian, go!
Let me get these things. 21.
Perfect.
Nice.
That's perfect. You make
gnome artifacts to go up in flames.
Can you what languages can you read, Baron?
Gnomish.
Anything else?
And abyssal, I think it's called.
Oh, right. Shit. All right. I don't know if there's anything abyssal here. As you get closer to the cubby holes, you also notice a locked iron strongbox tucked away into one of the cubby holes, as well as just countless bits of paper filling up little some of these cubby holes.
Okay. So it's a steel lockbox, did you say?
Yeah, a big locked iron strongbox.
Oh, hey, Sig, there's a lockbox here. Do you want to grab that? And I'll just grab as much paper as I can and get out of this burning room.
Good idea, Mr. Baron. and Sig scoops up the iron lockbox.
I'll need you to give me a dexterity with advantage as well to make sure you get over there unscathed.
Sure.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
A dexterity save, was it?
Yeah, we'll just give me that with advantage.
Yeah, I'm using this hand motion to control the flames away from me.
An 18.
Yeah, perfect. That's enough to make your way over. And we'll use
Go,
those.
Sig, go.
We'll use those rolls for if you want to make your way out of the room as well. I'm not going to make you re-roll for that.
Cool. Yeah, otherwise we'd just die in a fire or something.
I had a fire of our own creation. That's not right.
Yeah.
Scare to half the party.
The Baron, you reach into one of the cubby holes and pick up a bunch of the paper, but just notice that it just crumbles into dust the moment you touch it. This paper is maybe a century old.
Not very good paper, really. It's not archival paper. It should last longer than that. I'm going to leave.
Send an angrily note to the mayor or something.
Sig
Kind of an
leaves the
office,
room
isn't
with the
it?
lockbox.
What's that? Sorry, Sig?
Sig leaves the room carrying the lockbox.
Okay, great. That's fine. You guys have left the room. You guys, you've seen.
Okay, I'm going to start doing my ritual. Sorry, just before.
Cool.
Let's do that.
Cool. Bill, you just in there lighting up the last few bodies.
I think once there's a good, good flame going,
Yeah.
I'll exit the room.
Yeah, this room's starting to get pretty hot. There's been a few bodies that are now on fire. There's a lot of smoke filling up this room. Yeah. Are you shutting the door behind you, or are you just going to let that?
No, I'm leaving it for airflow.
Okay.
Can I try to? Can I glance at Bill and see if he's willing for me to extinguish it? It seems foolhardy to fill narrow passageways with choking, blinding smoke in such a time as this.
Thinking that myself.
Yeah, the smoke is starting to creep out into this corridor now.
I'm not really into this ritual right now. I understand what you're trying to do, Bill, but this funeral pyre thing is really choking my eyes and my throat.
Yeah, Syl does
There's like
letting.
dead bodies burning.
Yeah, Syl does letting out a few coughs. He's like, "Oh, this is exactly what I was after."
So I'm just going to engage American and just say, well, we didn't burn the bodies we came across last time, and they all attacked us. So I'd prefer these ones didn't. But I'll take the popular vote.
Well,
I think we should
suppose
just
we could
smash
just
their
shut
bodies.
the door.
Yeah, I mean, crack a window or something. Jeez.
If we shut the door, then we cull the airflow, and I don't know if you know about fire and airflow, but they're kind of synonym. They
Don't
work together.
patronize me, Bill. I control flames. How dare you?
Yeah,
Do I
don't
know
if you
about fire and airflow? Absolutely
No, but
ridiculous, you
I
silly
don't
man.
control flames, so
Do you know about being underground in a cave and fires?
Do you know about the effects of acrid smoke filling up your airways?
I
Know
do.
about that?
I do. Says Sildar.
No, but I'm
raising his
moving.
hand.
I'm going.
Yeah, I think Sildar is going to follow behind.
So I think Bill's whole objective in this is to make sure that we don't get attacked by a bunch of corpses again. So he's very open to other options.
I think we should smash their bones, or just at least their heads.
Well, they're all on fire right now.
No. If we come across other ones that aren't on fire.
Very good, Mr. Bill. I think there's a good intent, but I think in the future, rather than setting fire to this whole cave, let's use the smashing option next time, shall we?
How about as a compromise?
Smash
I
it.
use my control flames to double the power of the fire, but then close the door, and that will burn hot and fast, and then we don't get choked.
You can make charcoal.
Can I get Loras and Sig to help me barricade the door with Billy's body?
There's kind of just a Billy paste at the moment. Like Sig went to town on Billy with that hammer, and he was already necrotic.
I don't know. He's a pretty big boy.
You might be able to scoop up an arm or something. Sig, did you leave anything?
It's pretty mashed up, but Sig will kick parts of the body towards the door.
Given the resources, Bill will do his best to stop the smoke, but also keep the bodies burning, or keep them contained at least.
Yeah, I just want to say at the moment the Baron, Sildar, and Loras are all sort of nearing the edge of the torch that Bill was holding on to. So it's kind of you guys know that you're heading north into an open area, but it's kind of pitch black.
So the torches I lit up in there have gone out.
Sorry, no, that's right. Sorry, I did forget about that. You did light a whole bunch of the torches. From memory, there was 6 of them or 8 of them that you lit.
I think there were 12 and I lit 5 or something.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so there's enough of a light glow so you can see the ornate carvings of miners on the walls. Miners on the walls, as you guys. It's not that kind of cave, people.
Oh my god.
So yeah, this room's kind of new to Loras number 2, Lugar. But you see a bunch more skeletons littering this area. You also see sort of these dead bat-like creatures have just been burst and covering these dead bodies, and you see a bugbear's corpse lying in here as well. You kind of piece together there's only what must have happened in here has something to do with the crew that you have now found yourself with.
I see. At least you are competent in battle. Mostly.
Wasn't even me. It was someone else that did that. I kick away a skull.
Yeah, nice. You miss. No kidding.
Well, I probably would.
I'd like to inquire whether Sig and I could try and open this lockbox.
Do you guys have any sort of tools or anything? Because this thing is locked tight.
I don't have any.
Sig has
I've
a
got
crowbar
like a dagger.
and a hammer.
All right. You can give me a strength check on that one if you want to try and open it. But this is a fairly heavy iron strongbox.
Sig would also like to use his Battlemaster's ability for proficiency with smith tools to be like a combination of crowbar, hammer, smith tools action.
Okay, you're right. Roll with advantage. Let's smash this stupid box.
Roll what again? Sorry.
Just roll strength with advantage. All right. Roll number 2. This is it. 22. It was going to take a really high roll to break into that, but you do manage to just crack the front of this lock off the strong box. And you open it just to reveal a bunch of coin. The room that you grabbed this out of with the cubby holes and with the counter and the scales, it looked like maybe this was where a lot of the finances were dealt with in this mine. And this is obviously what was left of their dailies, I guess. So there's, do you want who's looking after the money? Is it still you, Bill? All right, so there is 600 copper pieces in this box. There is 180 silver pieces, 90 electrum, and 60 gold pieces.
How much are electrum worth?
Electrum,
1.5.
yeah.
Gold. Oh,
What are they like? One.
It's between
fifth-
silver and gold.
Yeah. We can
1.5
calculate
silver, I think.
Could you repeat?
I mean, I did it pretty
Some
slowly.
money.
Let's just okay.
600 copper pieces. That's just 6 gold.
Yeah, let's just round
I
up.
know,
Let's-
it's fun.
You know
There's
what?
one-
You find like 80 gold pieces. How does that sound? Yeah. Perfect. There's just 80
Sounds
simple gold pieces
Love
sitting in
it.
that strong box. Yeah, cool. That makes that a lot easier. I'll try and do that next time as well. Since you guys don't care about copper.
Currency conversion is why I play this game. Why would you take that out?
Yeah. I'm leaving. Okay. So you guys find yourselves walking back into the area you were. We took out your bugbear guide, or who was a guide for at least a little bit. You took him out. It's kind of lit nicely. It's almost a little romantic in this room if it wasn't for the bones and dead bodies. There's an exit off to the west, which is where you all came from earlier. There's a entranceway, so an exit or a corridor leading north, and another one to the east. Sig remembers seeing a faint greenish glow coming from the east. American remembers there was a door and some corridors further to the north, and yeah, you all remember off to the west was where you've all came through earlier, and that there was a corridor heading off to the north down there as well.
Brian, did you manage to complete that ritual?
Good question.
You have. You've completed that ritual.
Yes.
Okay, so that
Wait a minute. We'll
Is
just
any
wait
of this
4
looking
more
familiar to me
minutes.
as well?
No, you've never ventured this far in. You can see again some more of your brethren on the ground in this room as well.
If anything pings within 20 feet of me, just let me know.
Yeah, this room seems to be pretty barren of any aura. Byron. Sorry.
Okay, I got you.
Did you get that one? Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
did. Barrett, no.
Yeah, nothing seems to really be picking up. How long does that last for?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. All right. So where are we going?
All right. Corridors versus green glow.
Green glow.
I'm scared of green glows.
What does everyone else think?
Green glow. Seems like somewhere where something exciting would
Definitely
happen.
edging towards the green
Some kind of-
glow.
Yeah, you all take a look down this corridor, and there's just a faint glow. Now, American and Bill, you've both got dark vision, so you can see a little further than the rest. Who's holding a torch at the moment?
I might grab one off the wall if that's doable.
Yeah, that's fine. So both you and Sig are holding some sort of illumination device. Lugar is. Are you going to be sort of alongside the elves at the front as they venture in, or back with Sig and the Baron?
I'll be alongside the front.
Okay, Bill.
Query: does Lukar have Loras's senses? Or
Yes.
okay,
Yeah. It is inhabiting Loras's bodies. That comes with all of the senses that Loras has. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like no one's really addressing the fact that we don't know if Loras is alive anymore. Is anyone bothered about that? Because I'm a little bit bothered about that.
Loras always comes right.
It's fine.
this guy seems just as good.
Oh, that's rough.
Dave, I
Oh,
hope you're watching,
R.I.P.
because that one, I think, no, that was harsh. I think Silda is trying to stay relatively close to Lugar, and he puts his hand on Lugar's back and says, "Is our friend still there? Is he okay?"
Your friend's attachment to the spirits is why I breathe. Your friend is okay. He lives.
Okay, you just let us know if everything's all right or not, because people might be a little upset if he's gone.
You will have him back when my work is done.
Oh,
I say, and I continue on.
Yeah. I think I like this guy, he says, Silda says, as he lets that distance grow between him and sort of stays back with both Sig and the Baron. American, I think you're seeing a little more of that green glow at this point. I'll uncover maybe a little more of what you see.
I'm going to have my bow at the ready, just in case.
Yeah, cool. There's a couple of stalagmites coming up out of the ground in this room. It's starting to open up, and you're noticing that green glow. Now, with your dark vision, is it shades of grey that you see in when it comes to dark vision?
50.
I believe so. If it goes, I think it goes to 60 feet, but it's in shades of grey.
Yeah. So I think it's starting to get to a point where some of the you're seeing some moss reaching across this room now, and what just looked like a greyish glow is now coming to light more in the greens. Everyone else who's just seeing in color can see that this glow is softer off in the distance. You can I get a perception check from you, American, since you're in the front?
Yes. I'm also going to hush people if they're talking loudly. Shh! There might be monsters. Perception 15.
Okay, with a roll of 15, you stop and you just listen out, and you can hear some dripping of water. You can smell this damp, mossy smell coming from this room, and just while you wait, again, just that of a wave off in the distance, and the ground beneath your feet rumbles. You're not hearing or sensing any movement coming from this open cavern in front of you. It looks like, as you get closer, you notice there's just deep carpets of this weird fungus covering large sections of the floor in this open area. The growth includes small little puffballs about a foot wide. There's weird shelf fungus growing on stalagmites, and large stalks and caps a good 5 feet tall. Some of these puffballs are glowing, which is where this glow is coming from, these big green puffballs. What I'll get again from you, American, is a nature check, since you are our druid.
Not too familiar with caves. Oh, very unfamiliar with caves with a roll of 3.
No, you've never seen or experienced this kind of fungus before.
It's like, disgusting.
It's just that moldy aroma.
Yeah. It looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a long time, American. Should we
Let us
go in?
proceed with caution.
I'll just
okay.
I'll reveal the rest of this room as you enter in. Now, I think for the most part, American, you're probably, and Bill, you guys are really going to be the only ones that can see into the dark areas. The others would probably have to get a lot closer to the corners to be able to see any detail in the corners of these rooms with the light from the torch.
No torches on these walls?
No, there's nothing on these walls other than the fungus. These different types of mushrooms and puffballs and shelving kind of fungus.
You shelf fungus.
Near the front.
What was that? Sorry, Bill?
I'm going to stay somewhat near the front.
Okay.
Sig waits for Sildar to catch up. Come on, man.
You catch up. I'm in front. Damn it. All right.
Be careful. There could be poison.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think twice about this place.
Think you want to leave?
Let's go home.
I could use a bath.
Yeah, so the ones up the front, Bill and American, you guys are leading this pack. Have you guys just stopped?
Little bit.
What have you stopped for?
Caution. Can I hear anything?
No, I mean, you had a great perception roll. All you can hear is the water dripping off some of the roofing in this cave.
Oh. Baron, can you detect any magic?
Yeah, nothing's pinging up for the Baron at the moment.
I've got an awful feeling we'll be walking into danger. Does anyone have any good strategies?
With my danger sense and my high constitution, I'm going to risk walking forward, kind of just generally sniffing at the area. I seem to have forgotten that my nostrils aren't orcish anymore, and I'm trying to just sniff out any danger that might be ahead.
Yeah. Is danger sense something specific? Is there a?
It's just anything that I can see in terms of it's just an advantage on dex saving throws against effects that I can see while
Right.
not planted. So it's not anything that might be
Yeah.
poisonous in nature.
Speaking of which, as you start crossing across the cave, you bring your foot down on one of the puff balls, and this gas sort of emanates out from it and lifts up into the room around you. Can I and then one by one, all these different puff balls start filling this room with this gas. Can I get a Constitution saving throw from everyone?
I knew it. Didn't I say?
You did.
I didn't help in any way, but I did
You
say.
said it. Oh, I got a 1.
Oh,
Make me a 2.
rolled a 14.
That's a 15 from Lucar.
Okay, cool. So Silda rolled a 19. So Silda sees this puff of smoke and just instantly pulls his shirt up over his face.
Okay,
So what have we? Let's go through each one. Sig rolled a 7. That is not enough, unfortunately. The Baron rolled a 1, which is definitely not enough. That is
Well, I think I would just be like, ooh, wonder what this is. Does this have any kind of effect?
just like it's like
Try and suck it up my nose. Tingly.
Loras, Lugar, Mirakin, and Bill all save just fine. So they all cover their noses in time. But unfortunately for the Baron and for Sig, I'm going to need... actually, I'll roll it. I'm going to roll it. This is your damage.
What the mouse? Okay, I don't like those noises.
Yeah, you guys take 16 poison damage.
What?
Yeah, it was 3d6.
It's not like I have
Sick.
that many hit points.
Buckles over onto Hange's knees and just starts vomiting.
And both of you are now poisoned for the next 10 minutes.
What does that do?
It gives you disadvantage on all attacks and ability throws. For the
Am
next
I
already
able to
have
use
that.
my herbalism kit in any way?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you've got proficiency in it, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're effectively going to have to spend some time putting together a concoction or something to help them out. It's not something you can just go, here it is. So
Of course.
I would probably treat it like a ritual anyway, which would take 10 minutes for preparation.
If I roll decently.
Yeah, I mean, you could take 10 minutes and fail. So,
Oh, gosh.
or you can just wait the 10 minutes that they're poisoned, I guess.
Well, I'm down to 4 hit points. This place is disgusting.
And there
whose
is-
idea was it go in here?
And there is still this gas is still in the air.
I'm leaving.
As a reaction, can I just burst speed to the other end?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I've got also an idea. Am I able to use my gust cantrip to direct the poisonous air to help keep it out of his system?
Whereabouts are you wanting to blow all of this gas?
Like parting it like the Red Sea,
Oh, you'd
pushing it
like-
out towards the side, clearing a path for us to struggle through.
What's the details on gust? I know you can sort of pick a point and control a flow, right? Do you want to just click on that so I
Yes.
can take a quick read?
So,
I
I create a gust that can push objects, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really say anything about it. It just says I can transmute the air. So I'm not trying to
Yeah.
push an object per se, so it should be very doable to push powder, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be a constant. I would let you just do it as a constant, X-Man power, I guess. Just like.
Oh, I always wanted to be an X-Man. Now I'm like
Yeah.
Storm. This is the best.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we can say that. Can I get a D6 roll from you, please?
Okay. I say we drag drag poor Baron and Sig out of here.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, I've rolled a 6.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is you get basically up to 6 minutes to hold this spell, and you've rolled a 6, so, for the full duration, you get 6 minutes to part this, but you basically can't do anything else while doing this.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you have created...
Let's just keep pushing forward, team.
You have created a decent path through this cavern.
Who parted? This is amazing.
I'm like holding up my staff up like I'm Moses. I'm like, you shall pass, actually.
Oh, shall I just hold my breath and run?
Do it.
Oh my god, this is so good.
Sig struggles to his feet and bumbles after the rest of them.
Okay.
My lungs are falling off.
Falling off. They were just hanging on before.
Well, they barely.
Yeah. You guys rush through this gap in the smoke that American has created, heading blindly at first towards this open tunnel. The rest of you catch up with your torches and manage to get some light within this corridor. It pushes further north and starts opening up. And Baron, I guess that interrupted the thing you were trying to do before. Weren't you trying to do something before? I can't remember.
I have a ritual going on. I don't think that's... Was there something else?
Oh, no, once that goes, you've got that for 10 minutes. Is that right? You don't have to keep concentrating on it?
No, I don't. Well, it's probably concentration. It is concentration.
Right. I mean,
I probably should have done a save to see if I'm still...
I'll give us a save then to see if you're still concentrating on
that. Is that a constitution save? That's my guess.
Sure, let's make it that.
I don't know.
We play pretty fast and easy with the rules here.
Yeah, fast and loose.
What do you have to get?
10.
All right.
I'm just saying that, but I think it's 10.
Okay. Let's check. Let's go for the rules, everybody.
Okay.
Concentration. Spells.
For
concentration.
lose concentration.
Casting. Taking damage. Yep, 10 or half the damage you take.
So I wasn't a full liar.
No,
okay, cool.
So you're good. So you're still concentrating, which is
great.
Fantastic. What you have noticed is up ahead is that there seems to be an aura of magic in the cavern up ahead.
Okay.
And the roof to this area just seems to really pick up here. It seems to be much higher than some of the previous rooms that you've ventured into so far.
I look up. Well, the roof is really picking up around here. And I cough. And I say, there's a magical haze. Where's it coming from?
Just the further north of this cave. It's kind of lightly glowing.
Okay, it only goes 20 feet, so...
Yeah, okay.
So there's a hazy glow around here?
Just, in the entrance. It's really, really light.
Okay. I'll just urge caution for everyone, because there seems to be some kind of magic emanating from that cave.
I'm going to look on the ceiling. Can I see up into the ceiling, or is it too high?
You can see up. It's maybe about 30 foot high in this room, 10 meters high, and there's just rock. It's it looks to be sort of damp up there as well. There doesn't seem to be any creatures of any sort waiting to jump down on you like previously.
Yeah.
But you also you're only in the corridor at the moment. There's only so much you can see.
Oh, let's keep going.
You carry me.
You're all right. You look paler than normal, Brian. Do you need a potion or some help?
No, I'll be okay.
How's
You don't look okay.
How's Lugar doing after everything that's just occurred? How's he feeling?
Lugar is somewhat embarrassed about the triggering the mushrooms, but is determined. So he's still walking with purpose. I think the idea of confronting the black spider is definitely taken his concentration. But he remains cautious about his surroundings.
Okay, great. You're sort of squinting a little bit and you see what could be... It doesn't look like a cavern, the wall to your right, Lugar. You see it looks more a purpose built, but it's still, there's not enough light here to really make it out.
I just turn to my party and I point it and say, there is something.
Let's have a look.
You guys might need to move into the cavern if
I
you
will
want to
push forward and take a look with my night lookers.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you've got your night lookers out. Actually, what I've from here, American, as you've moved in and you're still looking up into the darkness of the roof of the cavern, you notice a bunch of small little lights glinting from up there. It's maybe it's some minerals in the ceiling of the large cavern, just catching light and sending it back down. But it kind of has the impression of a starry night sky above you. Again, you bring your focus down, and there is off in the distance just dozens of skeletons littering this area of the cave as well. Many that have been crushed under fallen debris. What you do notice is off to your right is what just looks like a freestanding structure, like a little stone building. That seems to be proportioned for human use, not so much the dwarven use that the other doors you saw were made for. These are your standard size doors, but they are still stone with iron hinges and iron handles. And it's a small building, just nestled away in this area of the cave. Actually, can I escape that?
A small building in here?
I'm just going to make sure I don't reveal too much of that.
A small building? How strange.
With a double door attached to the front of this, the facade of this building.
How's that magic ritual looking? What's lighting up?
Yeah, I might edge forward. Do I see these things in the ceiling?
Yeah, you can. You've all walked in and taken a look up to follow Mirakin's gaze, and it's just this beautiful, what looks like a beautiful starry sky.
Okay, and there's skeletons directly below them.
And there's skeletons littering the floor.
Okay, well,
skeleton dust, right?
There is
They've
some.
all been crushed.
There's a bunch of that. There are a bunch that have been crushed. There are still an occasional whole one. There's just some limbs as well.
Oh, I'm going to pick up a skull and just roll it into a room.
Stu Reich! No. Yeah. So Baron picks up a skull and just sort of rolls it across the concrete, the stone floor, and it just nestles up against some other bones, a few, maybe 10 feet away from him.
Okay, 3 points. All right. Shall we go? I want to go into those double doors or something. I want to get a rest or something. I want to lie down. But really, is anyone else disconcerted by this beautiful starry night here?
You notice
You
notice there's no glow, no detect magic coming from there. But also, I did say it was 30 feet up, and yours is 20 feet.
Yeah.
But then on the walls that it does hit, it doesn't seem to be having any sort of glow. It doesn't. The magic isn't getting. Your aura isn't getting brighter the higher this room is.
But regardless of the magic, it's weird, right?
I think maybe it's just glowworms, but I must say it's hard to appreciate their beauty when everything in this cave is trying to kill us.
Yeah, it's really rude.
It could be something trying to kill us. We don't know.
What do you think, Sig?
Sig wipes the vomit from his mouth, stumbles forward. Well, we can't stay here.
No.
Let's go.
I'll follow you.
Bill, you can sort of make out a little that the cavern sort of seems semi-roundish with this giant pillar standing between you and its opposing wall.
Question. What does the poison do again?
Gives them disadvantage on ability throws and attacks.
I would like to try and help my companions if possible. Could we sit them down and try and get them some treatment?
I mean, if you wanted to spend 10 minutes, I mean, they've probably got another 6 minutes.
I mean, they're spitting up vomit and all.
They're not losing health.
Not very pleasant, at the very least.
We need to find a bar or something. Do you want to? We should check that double door. Maybe there's some whiskey in there or something.
Whiskey or certain death.
Can't imagine that room is going to be helpful. The last place we were in, it took a toll.
How far
Everywhere,
ahead of us can I see? Knowing that it's dark.
Yes, certainly. So from where you are, you're seeing basically this whole room. Is maybe can you see my little green arrow? You're seeing probably half of this room.
Okay.
Before it goes off into darkness.
Do you see my red arrow?
I do.
The 15. Yeah. Okay. So I would like to see whether or not there are any telltale markings on this pillar here to suggest that maybe something from the ceiling fell.
Oh, right.
In the past.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that there have been rocks that have fallen from above that have crushed some of this debris over time. And with that, you just hear another of the waves, and the cavern just shakes a little bit, and just a small rock just clatters down off the roof.
Maybe while he investigates, I could do that herbalism kit. How about that?
I mean, they're going to be no longer poisoned in about 6 minutes, and you're
okay.
and it'll
well,
take
then they can
minutes.
just stumble. You don't want me to help them. They can just stumble around and vomiting for 6 minutes. I'm also fine with that.
We could literally just fast forward 6 minutes, and they'll be okay.
Okay, I won't help.
But if it makes you feel better, give us a herbalism roll.
No.
Do it.
Never mind.
Do it. Okay.
Oh god, this is becoming a thing.
It's a
Sorry
thing now.
for trying to roleplay caring about my friends.
No, I appreciate it. It's just the numbers were all wrong, but that's okay.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't crunch the numbers about whether I should care about my friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Next.
Roll for caring.
Yeah, I was trying to roll for caring, but never mind. I won't help.
Let's get
Anyway,
in those doors.
Let's
We'll,
go get killed,
die.
everyone. Let's go have a look in these
Go.
doors.
I'm following you, American.
So
I'm going to look in the doors. I'm just going to do it.
Okay, as you near these doors, you notice that they're cracked and scorched. It looks like there's been some sort of attempt to enter it at some point. It could have been a long time ago that has left these doors damaged and scorched. Part of the iron hinges holding these doors together have been melted as well.
Like to get in or keep something in.
As a DM, I'm not answering.
Can I roll investigation? Yeah, can we roll to see if we can determine the nature of the fire damage?
While they're doing that, I'm still investigating this wall here.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Whoa.
So,
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, that's a perfect roll for that investigation. I'm not going to deny that.
Good.
But these things were melted. I mean, there's dust that is sort of over, and a little bit of mold over these melted hinges as well. It would have been definitely a decent amount of heat to get iron hinges to melt. But there's no telling where that came from. Just by looking at it. The doors are scorched as well, and they're made of stone.
Okay. Is it magic? Is magic pinging off it?
No, there's no magic. There's still this whole cavern just seems to have a similar glow to it. Can you see your aura through darkness?
Only if I'm really high.
All right. Okay.
No, I think I could. I think I could see it through darkness. It's like an object would glow in the
Sure.
distance.
So what I'll say for you, Baron, is that you do notice the further north of this room, the brighter that glow is. It's still pretty soft, but it's definitely increasing in intensity the further north.
Okay, so it's more magical up ahead. Should we? I just don't want to get poisoned by this gas anymore. Should we move on?
Can we tell from which direction the flames that have burnt this door came from? Did they come from the glow? Did they come from just in front of the door, or?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's scorch marks on this side of the stone doors, and the hinges are mainly on this side of the doors, it looks like it came from the outside.
Okay, so definitely someone sealed it.
And they're so melted we cannot open the doors?
Tried to break in. I don't know. Are they welded shut? Are they welded? Or are they just scorched?
They're scorched. They've melded, so there's no separation in the hinges. They're all just like one melded piece.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of welded.
Lucar, seeing his party staring at this door, is just going to walk up and give it a kick.
Okay, give us a strength check.
Strength check.
I mean, it's what Loras would do.
He would only do it if it was a farmhouse with a child in it.
Or if someone told him there was treasure behind it.
Sorry, was that a saving throw, or
just if you click the word strength on the left hand side with all your stats, if you just give that a click.
Okay.
I'm just going to stand back a little. Oh, that's a true Loras move to crit fail. Well done.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a strength roll. You have to get a 1.
Yeah. Can you give me a D4? Give me a D4 roll as well. Okay, you like slam your foot into this door, and you just hit all the wrong kind of angles and just twist your ankle, and you hobble back, and you got 2 HP of damage.
Ooh, get jockey G! Ah!
Oh no!
And with that, Silda sort of runs over to Lugar and says, "Loras, you're back!"
Oh.
But those doors didn't even budge.
Can I request your help, Sig? Seems like a big strong hammer cracking down on those melted hinges would hopefully do something.
Sig stumbles forward towards American and puts down his shield and picks up his hammer in both hands. Stand back, everybody.
Yeah, sorry, I just couldn't be bothered getting out my herbalism kit. You'll be fine.
Did you say you have a herbalism kit?
Never
Does he
mind.
care about us?
No!
Sig's mind is foggy with vomit and ignores the party as he swings two-handedly with his hammer. With disadvantage because he's got poison coursing through his veins. And manages a total of 9.
Yeah, I'm going to say you just take 2 big swings at it, because I don't want it to be this thing where you just sit around and be like, I don't know how to get in. So yeah, you deal that first hammer into the door, and it just lets out a massive sound, and a dust falls from the hinges, and then you clue on, you're going to attack those hinges directly. And you bring that hammer slamming down into one of the hinges and knock it clean off. And the door balances on itself for a little bit before falling inwards into the building.
Oh my god. That fucking hammer.
Yeah, it's a good hammer.
Amazing.
Bits!
I knew it!
Again!
It's always the beards. Okay, so dust, ash, walls blackened by fire, and heaps of debris beneath the sagging ceiling show that this room was damaged by a destructive blast. Okay, the furnishings, the tables, chairs, bookshelves, and beds are charred or splintered, but otherwise well preserved. I don't know what that means because they're charred and splintered. At the end of the bed to the south stands a scorched iron chest.
Sig stumbles back a step and signals the party into the room.
Oh. I just follow holding my herbalism kit, but not doing anything with it.
I glance at it as I walk past.
Oh no, I hate this. Cancel.
So you guys are all moving into the room.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Sig waits for Sildar
What
to
could go
enter.
wrong?
Sildar enters.
Sig follows closely behind.
There is.
As Sig is the last to enter into the room, just as the Baron's spell was wearing out, ritual spell was wearing out, the room just glows quite bright for a beat before disappearing completely. There's a swirling of wind in the center of the room, and up out of the ground, forming from the dust, stands a incredibly... he looks almost emaciated, big glowing yellow eyes, a small crown atop his head, and cloaks made up of billowing dust flow out from behind him. Or it, I guess it is. And he speaks. Your presence is offensive to me. Your life forfeit. And we'll end it there for the night.
Oh no, spooky boy.
he's a little spooky boy. But yeah, we're gonna leave it there. This is a good time to call it a night. Cool. We'll chuck you guys back on the landing page.
The key question for the week is: are Baron and Sig still at disadvantage? Is the poison worn off yet?
No, because the spell, his ritual just ran out. Man. What? Like you
told me I shouldn't do it. Crap!
I said you could, but it would be 10 minutes.
Oh, you said not to.
I didn't say not to. I said you could, but it would be 10
R.I.P. guys.
minutes.
Sorry. Oh my god.
Oh,
My
no.
god. I was so determined to do it as well.
Don't listen to the DM. The DM's a
man.
dick.
I know. What the heck? Oh well.
Just the numbers didn't add up.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you'd have waited outside for 10 minutes to do the thing.
You explicitly told me not to, but that's okay.
No. I said...
nice knowing you guys, but I'm sure we'll be fine.
We've
We
got
did
this,
thanks
like...
to you.
Yeah.
Reagan.
No. We've got this recorded. We can go to the tapes on this.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we're going to the tapes.
I'm so stressed by this. I feel like it's always my fault when people get into trouble because I'm not protecting them.
No.
It was those spores' fault.
Nah, I should have helped.
I believe I said
It was the spores and nothing else.
I've got the full blown regrets right now.
I did say we could just wait, like, fast forward 6 minutes if you wanted to. To which the response was Lugar trying to kick the door down.
Yeah. I'm not bothered at all, actually.
So it was the spores, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
man,
definitely
I'm
the
so full of
spores.
regret. Oh, well.
Every room in this place is like made by an asshole. It's like every room has fucked us up.
Not every room. There was, like, that one with the dead bodies that you burnt.
Yeah, well, okay, but we still managed to burn.
Yeah, we almost killed ourselves in that one. Let's be honest.
That's awesome.
We're added to that one.
What did you guys think of the way we've brought Lugar into the story?
Loved it.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that.
That's great.
They're good.
Good work, Blame the Robot.
Oh, thank you very much. Interestingly enough, bit of a history lesson is that I'm currently playing a D&D game with someone, and the Dagu Vral are an ancient nomadic tribe that features in that game as well. So it's really interesting to kind of introduce that to this world as well.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool.
that's really cool.
Dude, we've loved having you on. I can't wait.
Except
for
now
next
they're all
week.
dead.
No. This is D&D. Anything can happen. I'm sure only half will die. Don't worry. It's just Sig and the Baron. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what happens. One thing I will have to talk to you about, Josh, is how do we wrap up Lugar's story? Because we do only have you for next week. So if you've got some ideas, let me know.
There are a few kind of story elements that have been kind of sprinkling in the background. And those of you who are keen-eyed might see what I'm potentially doing, but you'll have to find out next time.
That's awesome.
And for that, I'm very excited. And thank you so much for having me, everybody. It was wonderful to be a part of this. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, no.
Free dance.
We only do this. This is normally our subscribers dance when we get a subscriber.
Yeah, we're sullying it a little bit, but it's worth it for you.
We're watering it down.
Why we?
We gave it away free, guys. Come on. I can't believe it. No, that was just to say thanks to all of Blame Trains, all your followers, mate, all you guys that are here that have supported us tonight. You guys are fantastic. What a crowd. You guys have really brought a lot of life to the chat. Well, I mean, we always have a lot of life anyway, but it's nice to have a bunch of new names joining in. And you guys were very lucky because we were very painfully close to having Billy Goblin appear again.
What?
We were painfully close. All it would have taken was for one person just to be like, "It's on," and it would have been there.
So I guess I have to ask: does that mean that the Billy Goblin counter is reset, or might this battle that we see next week have a special guest as well?
Yeah, so at the moment it's 500 points away from being spawned. That starts at 500 next session as well. So
well,
nice knowing you.
And just get your slapping hands out. I'm sure that'll be fine. But yeah, anyway,
I've got my slapping hands ready.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody for watching and supporting us tonight. If you're not following us and you like what you see, give us a follow, please. It's awesome. If you want to buy one of our shirts, Reese is wearing one at the moment back there with the lineup of the crew there, which is fantastic, designed by Joe. And then, sorry. That's just unbundled. Then we've got the Billy Goblin shirt as well, which is also designed by Joe. It's very cool. With the awesome getting Dicey dice on the side, which is fantastic. Or just give a subscription because I believe through September they are half price, which is a fantastic way for Twitch to make following and subscribing to us cheaper for you, which is awesome. Jump into our Discord and come say hi. We'll be in there talking about D&D, what we're up to, and what if you're playing, what you're up to, and give us a follow on Twitter, Facebook, and all the usual places. And we'll be back next Monday at the same time to see what happens with this super scary thing that just appeared.
I think you might be friendly.
You never know in D&D, can you? Yeah.
Well, he did say something about killing us, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, something about the phrase, your lives are forfeit.
Yeah.
Maybe he just takes a little while to just warm up.
You just got to get to know the guy. That's all. Just got to get to know him. But yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. And thank you, Josh, for joining us this week. It's been awesome.
No problem. Thank you so much once again for having me.
All right.
Goodbye, Internet.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.